Greetings guys, a warm welcome. Hey, this is May's Psi Prediction series or Global Predictions using predominantly the Psi cards, which is this deck here, created from kind of collective conscious energies, but also taking two from this deck, the tarot deck. We come out of March and April that have been particularly turbulent and kind of unpleasant globally. There's been a lot of traumatic stuff going on. There were many retrograde planets in April especially. So as we move into May, things have quietened down planetary wise anyhow. Whether or not that quietens down with us as human emotions on the planet has yet to be seen. I think it's kind of like riding the wave. The energy of the previous months may still cause a bit of conflagration and energetic destabilization, but the month of May has a universal number of 8 attached to it, and 8 is sort of more of a manifesting number. It's also a cycle of life number and a karmic number. So let's start by shuffling these cards and seeing what comes out from the traditional tarot for May for 2019. So we will see what turns up. This is for global predictions. Last month there was the Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups, and it was a pretty tough month with the terrible massacres in Sri Lanka out in the churches. So that church card did portray itself really quite physically, and the Ace of Cups again is just a pouring out of support and love and harmony to try and negate or to try and waver all that negativity that was surrounding it. However, things are still fairly turbulent in Sri Lanka. They are still warning of attacks, imminent attacks. So let's just see what's coming here for May from the tarot. Oh, the Victory card. Well, at least that's it's a good start. Victory for someone somewhere, and the Emperor. Those two have a little bit more of pleasant demeanor energy to them, and I'm sorry about this light that's going across there. I just can't remove it or change it. But yeah, the Victory card and the numbers mirror each other, so 6 and 4 mirroring each other up there. The Victory card talks to us about success at some sort of level, triumphant success. He does look like a battler on the battlefield. Again, we often do have that sort of feeling with the tarot cards just because of the way they were originally designed, I guess. They go back in time, era-wise, and in viewing to look at. The number 6 could be relevant, even though we're in the 5th month. Maybe the number 6 plays out somehow. I'll have to ponder a little bit more about what that Victory card could mean. It is about creative perspectives, it's about careers, opportunities, ideas. It could reference somebody's victory as in like a political party's victory, a success for someone. But to me it would feel like a success that you would expect, not the other way around. So it might be if there's a country out there that's going through voting, and in fact I think Australia is in May, then the vote or the outcome of the elections might be as expected, so not something that is upset or turns things around. The Emperor card often refers to April energy, and we've just come out of April. He's quite an authoritarian or a dictator. So again, this could reference strong-minded leaders around the globe, political parties, and I think immediately of countries like Russia and Putin, North Korea, Kim Jong-un, the Chinese leader. I see there's a new emperor. I think it's an emperor in Japan, has just been heralded in. So, we could be talking about any of these type of political factions, their energies, activities happening. So we're down on the ground with people and politics off those cards at the moment anyhow. Let's see what the Psi cards bring. These ones, of course, have different dimension to them than a tarot deck. And as I say, they were designed with collective conscious energies in mind, and they incorporate archetypes, personalities, situations, scenarios. So this is for May 2019. What's in store? What's collective conscious attaching itself to or looking in on? Fortune. Well, it looks a good card to start off with. The home. Have not seen destruction out for a long time, but it's there. The moon. That's not been out for a very long time either. The tree. The body. The body's been out a little bit lately. Okay, so move those up there a bit. I think you can all still see those cards. They might be angled slightly oddly. The fortune. It's a guy coming up a set of stairs with a lantern, so illuminating something. He's heading up to treasures or to riches hidden in a chest at the top of that stairwell. Traditionally, the card would mean finding or seeking or coming to some sort of richness or riches in your life, whichever way you perceive it. But in the side deck for these readings, I often have turned the energy of the cards around. So it could mean that there is a problem getting to the riches of your life, like yours independently, or community-wise, or globally, or population-wise, that people are struggling to see the light, or feel the light, or understand the light. The stairwell also has like a formation to me, a bit of a tornado. So maybe tornadoes are a feature in May, in the dark of night, or in the night hours. Money can be difficult to access in May, so there may be some impinging around financial issues globally. So we could see money drop, or finances drop, or shares or stock markets, things like that. The value of the greenback altering or changing. Some currencies may go up in value as well. So there could be an unexpected jump up in values, but for some there will be a dropping, and it might be a spiral down that is starting the downhill spiral. With the home card, I often look at it in the perspective of myself doing the reading and talking about home as in where I live, which is New Zealand. So there could be something that happens with New Zealand that goes into the news. We've had enough of it lately. We started in March, unfortunately, with the terrorist attacks. There could be something more political as well, like our leader Jacinda Ardern is travelling more, she's interacting more at an unusual level for a Prime Minister perhaps. I believe she's meeting with President Macron of France, and they're trying to do something about making sure there are values put in place on public forum places such as YouTube and Facebook, so that live streaming can't be done, things like that. So they're meeting to try and formulate all of this sort of stuff to happen. But the home can also represent other things with New Zealand, such as geographical or geological issues. I see the fire in there, so maybe eruptions or fires or earthquakes could be also part and parcel of it. And if it's not necessarily just New Zealand, it can be our direct neighbours or our closest neighbours, such as the Pacific Islands or Australia as well. Now, yes, Australia does have its elections coming up in May, I believe, so there could be something fundamentally involved there. That can also represent shaking houses and buildings. This one is probably the least pleasant, of the bunch, and it hasn't been out for quite some time. I don't like the reference to churches in the background there. So this could mean more attacks on churches, in particular bombings where they blow up, the buildings burning down, warring and fighting. I think Venezuela has just broken out into civil war today. There's fighting on the streets there. So I think, unfortunately, with the destruction card present, then May's energies may still be quite tumultuous, maybe unexpectedly. So yeah, the card speaks for itself. Everything you see in that card is everything that you could envision could happen. Towers burning, fires, fighting. Oh, and you see this looks like a biblical book down here, possibly a Bible with the cross on it. So we're still talking religious wars, we're talking fanaticists, we're talking hatred. This isn't going to go to bed anytime soon. It's kind of ramping up. Yeah, I probably don't want to focus on that anymore. So the moon. We don't start the eclipse season yet until July, I'm pretty sure. We do have a full moon in Scorpio on the 18th of May, so the full moon may represent some sort of timing event. Sometimes when the full moons are around, we can see king tides, high tides. We can also see quake activity. Now, with the crab in the water, it can sometimes represent issues and things that are happening around the Tropic of Cancer. So there's a possibility that that area of the globe is also affected. We do see the sea in there, and we also see animals. So possibly animals are being talked about. They are every month. Our animals on the planet are highly affected with the changes that are taking place, especially the weather-related or climate-related changes. There's no escape for them. So perhaps there's more information about that in the month of May, or more events that turn up. So the moon can also represent things to do with our beautiful moon, information pertaining to it, like maybe more countries landing on it, or maybe a bid to put more astronauts back on it, maybe something else traversing past it, or maybe an asteroid impact on the moon. Perhaps there's also a possibility about other space information as well. We're getting masses of space information coming out, technological new information pertaining to our understanding of the universe, and it's coming out daily almost. It could even reference something unusual, sightings in space, or you remember when that foreign object came through, I think it was October last year. I'm not sure how they pronounce it, but it meant interstellar traveller, or perhaps there's more about interstellar travellers with the moon card. The tree references trees, so forests, plants, trees. Sometimes that there can be mass forest fires or damage to trees one way or another, so mass damage within events that take place, whether it's flooding or fires or earthquakes or a blight or something along those lines. It's also very, very red, so I think it does represent heat and possibly fires. It also represents the family tree, and this can sometimes turn up when maybe famous families like movie stars or political or royalty have some issues that come to light, and there can be strange events taking place. It can also be when there are very big global law cases that involve families that are somehow really odd. And the things that would come to mind here are that bizarre family from America that had the 14 children that they were abusing, and that has been in the papers again recently. I think they're about to be sentenced to like life imprisonment 24 times, or they have just recently been sentenced. So these sort of events can crop up again. You can read about new events coming where families are oddly positioned and terrible information comes out about horrific events within them. So that's a possibility to see more of those surfacing in May. The body card represents flus and viruses. Now we know, I think it's New York at the moment with the measles outbreak, and they're preventing people from attending university until they get the MMR vaccine. We've had a measles outbreak in New Zealand as well. So measles has taken hold a little bit around the planet, so maybe there's a further outbreak of that. I still don't think it's under control. It can talk about other viruses, flu, swine, bird viruses, all that sort of thing. It can also talk about new information pertaining to how to fix issues with the body. So things such as new research coming in for cancer, for brain stem problems, muscle problems, all sorts of information like that may come to light as well. So it covers off both sides of the spectrum in terms of health, negative and good. It can also mean bodies that are damaged and in really unpleasant accidents or events that occur and the surface of their bodies are damaged, so their skin is either ripped off or crushed or burnt, and these can be kind of like mass events, unfortunately. So the body card also is not a particularly nice one, although it does have its positives within it as well. So quite a mix going on there with this month's cards. These two up here are quite intriguing, and I'm not entirely sure how to completely reference them in. So if any of you guys who are watching have got any ideas or further ideas on the meanings behind those cards, the victory card and this emperor, like who might he be? What is the possible victory that's going on? Who's affected positively by the victory and who might be affected negatively by the victory? But those two are definitely a little more difficult, I think, to relay for the month. So thanks for joining me, everyone, and thanks for leaving your comments. Tell us what you think that's going to happen in May. Were any of you personally affected by any of the global events in April? That would also be quite interesting to know. Did weather patterns affect you where you lived? Were you involved in any severe weather events, or were you involved in any of the more negative personal or human events that took place globally? So yeah, thanks for joining me, everyone, but stay safe, be happy, and just be aware, I guess. Thanks everyone, take care, namaste.